my lows, I'm just going to take this thing to a whole new level. I'm going to take you to super spirituality. I'm going to come back from the dead on the third day. I'm going to punch Satan right in the mouth. You're sitting here today, you have no peace with God, you have no relationship with God. God is the furthest thing away from you. You feel like you are empty and downtrodden. If you were to die today, you could say, Brother Huey, look, if I die today, I'm going to hell. I want you to understand that's exactly how Satan wants you to feel as you leave today. I want you to be honest with yourself for a second. Just say, Huey, listen, if I were to leave here today and something were to happen to me, my heart's not right with God. I try to, and listen, you can feel good. It's an emotion. But deep down to the nitty-gritty of life, you don't feel like your relationship with God is what it should be. And you honestly can say, Brother Huey, when I die, if I die today, I feel like I'm going to hell. I don't have a relationship with Him. If that's you right where you are, I want you to lift your hand and say, Brother Huey, I want you to pray for me. Pray for me now. Bless you. Anybody else? Bless you, sweetie. Bless you, honey. Some of you are sitting here this morning and you can say, Brother Huey, Satan has set me back so many times. I don't know, honestly, when I look within myself, I don't know that I could even make a comeback. I feel like my vault is empty. I feel like Satan's taken everything. He's robbed me of my hope. He's robbed me of my peace. He's robbed me of my joy. Look, this is a time where I want you to be close to you and to figure this out. Only you know what's going on with you in your life. You and God. Huey, I've depended on emotion more than I've depended on God. I left the vault door open. Satan's come back. Now, here's the cool part about that. When those things get stolen from you, the Bible says that if a thief steals for 100, that he has to restore sevenfold. So anything that Satan's taken from you, he's got to give it back 7 times over. If you don't believe that's true, ask Job when you get to heaven. Job came back bigger and better and greater than he'd ever been. Huey, I've left my door open. I've relied and depended on emotion. I've ridden that train for so long. Huey, I want my relationship with God to be impeccable. I want it to be that when people look at me, that they see the love of God. And some of you right here, in between that place in life, where one door is shut and you're waiting on another one to open, but you're standing in that hallway, and you literally feel like all hell is broken loose in your life. You say, I have no peace. God says, come to me, ye that are tired and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. You see the mountain in front of you and said, it's impossible. God says, with me, all things are possible. You say, I can't do anything about this situation. God says, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. You've got the answer already figured out. It's just the world going. God's got it figured out. He's got a plan. You woke up this morning because He's got a purpose for you. There's no other reason. Satan did not wake you up this morning. Satan's greatest victory would be in you dying. If the two of you that lifted your hand and said, Brother Huey, if I died, I'm going to hell. The two of you that lifted your hand, Satan wants you. He wanted you to die before you got here today. He doesn't want you to find this peace that's in your heart that He can give. Those of you that can say, Huey, my life is just in shambles. The door vault was open and Satan's come and stolen from me. Look, Satan's wanting you to feel that way. He's wanting you to leave this morning dejected. He's wanting you to go home and put on Facebook about how depressed you are, how down you are. He's wanting you to leave here today and keep spitting the same poison that you've been telling everybody about how rough life is. But instead of saying that in God I found rest and I found peace, I want you to stand all over the building. Those of you that lifted your hand, and I want you to listen. I don't want anybody looking around. Nobody. I saw the hands that went up for those of you that said that you weren't saved. I want you to know that the altar's open. Satan wants to make sure that you lose today. He wants to make sure of it. He wants you to be downtrodden when you leave. He wants you to be lost. He wants you to be the best person to ever die and go to heaven. I didn't even have you lift your hand because it would probably be so many. Those of you that have left your door open, dependent on emotion, you're standing in the hallway of hell, you feel like life is just falling apart. God says, Come to me, ye that are tired and heavy laden. I'll give you rest. Let me tell you what righteousness is. It's understanding that God's already working and He's already moving. And that He's already doing things and they're going to be in your favor. And that all you have to do is wake up and realize that He's doing this in your life right now. You don't have to work any harder. You don't have to be any cleaner. Because He's got it. He's already washed you white as snow. He's already turned around and said, I'm taking care of these things. What righteousness allows you to do is understand that He's actually doing what He said. The altar's open. Don't leave here today standing in the hallway of hell. I don't care if there's 50 of you that feel that way and you need to come to the altar. I promise we'll pray together. Those of you that lifted your hand and said, Brother Huey, I'm lost. I don't know Jesus Christ. I don't have that peace, but I want it in my life. I want you to know that the altar's open. As Marty comes to sing, Lord, have your way. Thank you for the spoken word. Moving your people today in Jesus' holy name. Go ahead. real quick, I got two things. Emily Rule, who sits back here, I've never seen anybody pray as hard for her family as Emily did. And she came to church and she rode with Dot Fine literally for years. And I don't even know that Dot even thought about being the bus driver or whatever else, but for some reason she would, and it's, when you think about Dot and Emily being in the car together, that's almost funny. Because Dot doesn't say anything, and anybody that knows Emily doesn't shut up. And but faithful. I mean, would bring Emily Tuesdays, Sunday morning, Sunday night, everything else. Emily prayed for her dad and mom, for battles at home, and God delivered them both. They don't miss church. It's awesome. And Emily's dad came out last Sunday and wanted us to open the doors of the church today. And I told him that I would be glad to. And it's funny because they both went to different churches growing up and things like that. So I guess they, doing the compromising thing together as a husband and wife, they both went back and they visited her old church and his old church. And then they came back here. And they said that this is home. And so we're going to open the church doors today. And there's another thing real fast. And I've not done this in a while. I sat yesterday with a guy. Is that all?